The yellowest cocktail.
No, yellow is terrible. It tastes like freaking acid.
I can't remember the last time I had it.
Not too long.
It has to be like...
I was curious. Like 5 years maybe, and I tried it. I'm like, holy shit, like this is just pit. And sugar.
Cool. You put your microphone close to your mouth for today, or?
I don't know where I'm living. I'm living in 2026. All right. Czechoslovakia.
A podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
I am Iron Maiden PDL.
And today we are on part 2 of the hunt for Old Elk-Tober. We'll be trying a sour batch number 5.
Sour batch.
Sour match.
Sour mash.
Sour mash. Number 5.
Batch.
Holy shit.
Scratch. Sour scratch. And we haven't even...
We haven't even started yet. Sour mash number 5.
There you go.
From the Kentucky Trail.
Double wheat, which is another of the Master Distiller Select. We'll be trying the Gold Eagle single barrel pick and the Rye and Infinity Blend.
Yep. I'm so excited.
Next episode, we'll wrap it up with the semifinals and the Ultimate Champion.
I'm excited. I really am. I think a lot of these, well, I mean, most of these, if not all of them, that we've tried so far are just solid. So good.
Yeah. I don't think I've been disappointed with any of them so far.
Agreed.
No, I don't think so either. Just as a recap, last episode, we first matchup was Sour Mash 2 versus the 4 grain, and the 4 grain moved on. Then at 4 grain went against blended bourbon, and the blended bourbon won. And then the wheated went against the straight wheat, and the wheated won. So on the left side of the bracket, the final 2 are blended and wheated.
Yep. And the right side.
And we're doing the right side of the bracket today.
Yep.
I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, so let's jump in.
Let's jump in. I'm tired. I got to wake up.
First up, we have the Sour Mash.
There you go.
Batch 5.
All right, so I couldn't find much information on the Sour Patch Kids here that we're drinking. Is that what it's called, Sour Patch?
Sour Patch.
Yeah. Jesus.
Monster Mash.
Goddamn. I think I mixed that. I mixed mine.
I'm guessing in terms of the mash bill, the Sour Mash 2 was age 6 years. This is age 6 years. They don't put the mash bill on this bottle. I couldn't find it. If we look at the mash bill on the batch number 2, it was 51% corn, 34% malted barley, 15% rye, which is also their normal bourbon mash bill.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's the same. The previous one came in at 104.4 proof, and this is at 105 proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're going to be
It's probably the same mash bill.
probably the same, considering
know
they
why
used their normal mash bill on the previous one.
Yeah.
They're just doing a sour mash instead of their regular, and then
Instead of a Cabbage Patch Kid. Mm-hmm. Hey, let me see your sour mash. I think I mixed mine. No, your glass. I just want to smell it. I think I mixed them.
you should be able to tell the wheated one pretty easily.
I know, exactly.
Jeez.
The sour is a little bit
This is
darker
sour, right?
too.
Yeah.
And it's darker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
All right. Well, now that Roberto's figured himself out and Jake's trying to
back.
figure out how to speak English,
I'm back.
this is just a great start.
Hey, I've been packing for 4 hours. I'm moving to San Antonio. And it's getting to me because I've been packing for like 2.5 weeks now. I'll say, I've talked to a couple of whiskey friends about Old Elk. And one of the things that comes up is that they get overwhelmed by the amount of Old Elk sometimes on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, which one do I pick? I don't know the brand. I don't know the labels. I don't know. I haven't tried them. And hopefully this helps for that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just of course, our taste, our view. But hopefully helps people to like, hey, maybe I'll try this one because it got a good mark from the group.
Yeah.
And I'll say, you can obviously see which ones switch on the label, the wheats, the grain, the sour mash, which is just the bourbon. I would start with whatever you normally like. If you like wheated bourbons, start with a wheated one and work
Yeah. I
yourself
mean,
down.
a good rule of thumb, I think, with any like wide ranging brand is just start with the regular bourbon.
I would, yeah, that's a good point.
And then, because if it sucks, then like it's probably not worth exploring the other stuff.
Yeah, that's a
know?
good point.
I don't know. Like,
And it's usually the cheapest option too.
yeah. Well, I started when I got my first bottle of Old Elk. I just started off with a wheated, knowing I know I prefer wheated. The first time I actually tried their bourbon was when we did their tasting, which I thought was decent.
Yeah,
we
same.
talked about that yesterday, our last episode. But I'd say if you like wheats, if you like rye, start there, and if you like that, then keep exploring the brand.
Yeah, and I'll say I can't think of one right off the top, but I'm sure I've tried a bourbon I don't like, but the rye that I really like. So I don't know. I can see, like, to your point, if you really like rye whiskey, maybe start with a rye. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some distilleries and labels out there with you're surprised by the rye and underwhelmed by the bourbon, and
Yeah. I mean, the rye and bourbon are like totally separate.
yeah.
I guess like the weededs are too.
And yeah.
Yeah. Just listen to Dan. Just go with whatever you want.
I think if people have listened to enough episodes, they know just to listen to me. Like, I don't
Maybe,
think we
yeah.
need to put that out
is
there.
a really good point. Don't listen to me. That's for damn sure. I mean, that's just rule number one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I finally got him right, and this one it smells like again, I was talking about the Sour Mash 2, Cabbage Patch 2. That it's quintessential bourbon. It smells like bourbon, and this one does too. I don't remember specifically the notes from number 2, but number 5, I smell whiskey, bourbon. It's what it should smell like. It's
Yeah.
vanilla and oak.
I feel like the smells are a little bit bolder on this one.
Yeah. Like a little more dark chocolate in some cases.
Yeah.
I get hella vanilla.
A lot of vanilla. for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
And syrup. I get a lot of syrup, like maple syrup. And maybe not even maple syrup, but like log cabin fake syrup. But it smells like a bourbon. It smells like what I would expect a good bourbon to smell like. This is ethanol is there. It's probably what's the proof?
105.
So it definitely, you can tell it's over 100.
Yeah.
But it doesn't overpower me. It's not like some of those crappier whiskeys that are like 100 to 105 that it just hits you in the nose and that's it. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You can. I've tried a couple sips already and it's really smooth. For being a 105, this is damn smooth. Like, I really enjoy it.
And our tastes are different day to day, obviously. I remember when we did the Sour Mash 2, I thought that stuck in my... that burned down the hatch a little bit and stayed there for a while.
Yeah. You did say that.
I'm not getting that on this Sour Mash. This Sour
That's a
Mash
really
is
good
a
point.
smoother finish for me.
I think so
Yeah.
too. It's sweeter too. Like, well, I mean, I don't remember too specifically. Like, this one it's sweet. I taste a really nice sweetness in this.
Yeah. This one's way sweeter than batch 2.
Yeah.
In a
Completely.
in a
really
nice
good
way. Yeah.
Like in a complex, nice way.
Yeah.
I think
that vanilla note definitely comes
Vanilla's
through on the
there.
palate.
I think from the left side of the bracket, my least favorite that we did was actually the Sour Mash 2.
I
yeah.
think I would
Yeah,
agree.
me too.
Yeah.
And today, this is
It's great.
pretty damn good.
Yeah, it
Again,
is.
it could just be day-to-day taste flavors.
I don't know, but the three of us are kind of picking up the same differences.
Yeah. I mean, this is 3 batches after batch 2. I think they do a new batch every year.
Every year, yeah.
So, learning things, carrying over certain things,
Yeah.
you can improve it year to year, pretty significantly.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really enjoying this bourbon. It's 100, you said?
105.
I'm sorry,
Price is right around 100 on these. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Like-
this one, I'm a fan. I said this in the previous episode. I'm a fan of the Old Elk label, what they're doing, and I would easily recommend this at 100 just because it's a good experience. It's a good bottle. It's a good label.
Yeah, I think, we said that the batch 2 wasn't necessarily worth $100. I think this one's pretty spot
I
on.
really like that.
It's good
I really like this.
as like a craft
Yeah.
whiskey. I think that's a
Completely
reasonable price for the bottle.
I completely agree. I mean, it's worth picking this up for sure.
Like this one to me almost tastes like it could be a different mash bill too.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just sweet and smooth and
Like,
flavorful.
This doesn't taste like the 51% corn. This tastes like it could be like 60 or higher.
Nice syrupy consistency to it.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah, the consistency is really good.
Very good. Love this.
All right.
Well,
Well,
then
then
we put it on there.
the next one we are that this is going up against is going to be the double wheat. And let me find my notes on here. The Old Elk double wheat. This is one of the higher proof ones we're going to sample from Old Elk. So
Yeah.
this comes in at 107.1. They don't put an age statement on here, but based off of the company's press release, we know it's between 6 and 8 years old. The mash bill on this is 71.5% wheat, 25% corn, and 3.5% malted barley.
Okay.
So this basically falls into the last episode. We did the wheated versus the straight wheat, and the wheat bourbon was 45% wheat. And the straight wheat was 95% wheat. So this basically falls right in the middle of the wheat and the straight wheat.
Yeah.
Thinking back to the previous episode, I think we both liked both of them pretty well. I know all three of us settled on the wheated over the straight wheat.
Yeah.
But even the straight wheat
Oh, yeah.
was
The straight
pretty
wheat was great.
pretty good. So obviously we've had 2 out of the 3 wheats that Old Elk does. We're going to try the third one right now, but their wheats have been,
Yeah.
like we talked about the wheated. They called it the Weller killer.
Yeah.
We had-
and then what he's saying, it's also in some cases a Pappy killer, like a Pappy 12 killer. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, I
It's a
think they
stretch.
tried. Yeah, I think they tried to stretch that a little too far. And again, I don't think it's a Weller killer, but I think it's a great competitor.
That's a good competitor for sure.
Now, obviously, it's a lot more expensive than Special Reserve,
It's a lot more available.
but a lot more available.
And a lot more available.
So that's kind of the intro information on the double wheat.
Smells really good. I remember I picked up a bottle at the tasting at Gold Eagle, and damn, this just smells so good.
Yeah, when we were at that tasting, they had a lot of bottles that you could purchase, and then we tried the double wheat, and I think they said there was only like 5 or 6 bottles, and there was 40 people at the tasting.
Nobody got up.
I just stood up, like as soon as I took my first sip, I stood up and went over and grabbed a bottle. Everyone kind of laughed, and like everyone's like, "Well, is this legal to stand up?" And no one ever said anything, so I went and got my bottle and
I
sat
went
back down.
like 5 minutes after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there were a couple left at the end of the night. Like people didn't really get them. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, good for us. This smells just amazing. It smells cereally and grainy. I mean, vanilla and oak. A little leather musk. Definitely cereally. You know, I can smell the grain.
Yeah, it's more grainy.
Now, the wheated, you got a little bit of bread smell in there. I'm not getting too much bread smell on this.
Yeah, I'm not getting it on.
Me either. I get cereal instead of bread.
Yeah, it's more like
Oats, maybe.
yeah.
I can. It's like oat, like almost. You know, we were talking about instant Quaker oats.
Mhm.
This one smells like regular Quaker oats, not the cinnamon apple,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely vanilla. I get some, even a little pepper in the on the nose. Really good, like
Yeah.
really good, it's really good.
You're gonna take a sip of it. There you go. Down the hatch.
Smooth as hell. Not a lot of
It
burn.
is, yeah. It's what
So-
107 proof.
107.1.
That's amazing for a 107.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty nice.
It's really smooth. It's easy to drink.
This is a real competition
Oh yeah, yeah, no kidding.
between these two.
I mean, this one can get me in trouble really quick because I can just at 105. I'm not tasting the ethanol
107.
a lot. 107. Jeez, I'm not tasting the ethanol a lot.
I
And
mean, I feel it.
I feel a little hug.
It's not. I don't think it's detracting from the flavors, though.
Mm-mm. This is syrupy again. It's got a really nice consistency, and you can tell in the legs. It's got amazing legs in the
Mm-hmm.
glass.
Yeah.
You know, again, I could get in trouble with this really quick. I'm really enjoying this,
Yeah.
and this is gonna be hard for me to pick one.
Yeah, coming into this, knowing that I really like the double wheat and that I didn't like Sour Mash 2, I didn't think it was going to be much of a competition.
I didn't
Sour
think
Mash
so either.
5 was surprisingly good to me just based off of the previous. But
I can't even describe some of the taste that I'm getting.
it's
Maple
I think
syrup,
it's more complex than the
granola.
wheated that we picked as a winner over
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so
it
too.
is.
it's got
Yeah,
I think the wheated was not just only a few notes in this in it.
tastes like granola to me,
Like a trail mix.
like trail mix exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot
This
going
is
on.
great.
I'm getting like chocolate
Some M&Ms in
nuts.
Chocolate nuts.
Chocolate nuts.
What about
there. God damn.
chocolate
like-
salted balls?
Grains.
Chocolate, salted
Salty
balls.
chocolate balls.
Put them in your mouth and suck them. Dun, dun, dun.
This
No,
one took
no
a turn
South
for
Park,
the-
guys. No South Park.
This took a turn
Yeah,
for the
I remember
worst.
that one.
I don't know, man. This is gonna be hard.
This
for
is
me.
tough, for sure.
This is gonna be tough for me.
Yeah, I didn't think this was gonna be, like I said, I don't think it was gonna be a competition at all. I am still gonna go with the double wheat
Yeah,
just because it's not by much, but double wheat's always been my favorite from Old Elk, from the ones I've had, and I'm gonna stick with it on this pick. But that's why I'm gonna go with the double wheat.
I'm gonna go double wheat because it's more complex. I got more flavors and complexity from the double wheat. I enjoy. You know, I said this yesterday during the wheated and the wheat. Like I really enjoy that cereal grainy flavor. Everybody knows because I eat raw barley. I even though it's hard because Sour Mash 5 like really nicely surprised me from the Sour Mash 2. But I do enjoy. I think I can get in more trouble with the double wheat than the Sour Mash.
And if we know anything about Roberto, you enjoy getting in trouble.
Oh yeah, every time. 85% of the time, every time.
Well, my vote doesn't matter at this point. But I think I would vote for the Sour Mash 5.
Split.
Split
So
decision.
I think the double wheat will move on under protest.
No, it was hard. It was hard.
I mean, it's really close.
Yeah.
I think for me the sweetness and that like mapley syrupy flavor in the Sour Mash really put it over the top for me.
Very good.
But I mean the double wheat is really
It's
good
excellent.
too.
They're both worth every.
This might have been the toughest one so far.
Yeah, this has been the toughest. Well, we split the 4 grain and blended. Roberto went 4 grain, and me and you went blended.
That's true.
Every split I've picked the winning side. I just want to throw that out there.
I mean, you're just
kind of reemphasizes listen to Dan and no one else.
we get it.
That we talked about earlier.
We get it. It's fine. I'm the talent. You're the picker. Fine.
No, it's so what we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 Old Elks. 7 out of the 10 that we're gonna do in this tournament. And I'm gonna say that of the 7 we've had, 6 I would easily drink again.
Yeah.
6 of
Wait,
them.
which one would you drink?
I wasn't a big fan of Sour Mash 2.
Oh yeah, agreed. And it's I wouldn't pay what it's worth. I mean, what it costs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to finish my bottle, but
Right.
you can't find it again. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a second one if you
If
could find it.
Which is really good from a newer distillery. Now, again, they have one of the most experienced distillers ever
Yeah.
behind them, so it makes sense that it should be good. But at the same time, it's been a very, very impressive start. And,
Yeah, it really has been.
I mean, we have a single barrel left. We have the rye, which is probably going to be horrible. And then their Infinity blend.
I think we tried the rye, didn't we?
We did try that.
We did try the rye.
I remember liking it a lot.
By the way, and why Jake's starting to get ready for the next pour round, I just want to, or we might as well go right into the Gold Eagle pick, right? Because we just voted on the wheated, so we might as well do what we did the other. Yeah, or the double wheat. So we might as well just roll right into the Gold Eagle pick.
That's a good idea.
But as Jake's kind of switching over for this, I just want to say that when I was gone, I listened to the episode that you two guys did on E.H. Taylor rye.
That was so good.
I want to squash a couple myths that were brought up there.
Jeez, here it goes.
So first off, you said when I've done the things that I've given all the ryes a 5 and that I actually love ryes. I'm just being a jackass. I've never given anything a 5 at a blind tasting. I think the highest I've ever given was a 4, but I think I did give that to a rye,
Yeah.
which was Midwinter's Night Dram.
Which in my book is a 5.
And no one cares about your book. And it's not that I don't, it's more of I don't prefer ryes normally. There are ryes that I like, and and we've talked about some of the ryes that I've liked. It's not that I hate ryes, it's just more times than not, I prefer a bourbon.
Yeah.
But a really good rye is a really good rye.
Oh, heck yeah. I love rye.
That's a big pour, Jesus. Well, that's how today is going to go.
Want more double wheat?
Just a taste.
I got a little bit left in here. I'm going to leave that there. Just as a comeback.
Just so I can compare again.
But you guys talked a lot of shit about me when I was gone hiking.
Oh, yeah.
That was the point of the episode. I think the title was like, talk shit about Dan. That's what happens when one leaves. Yeah, the other two just
No,
talk
I don't
shit.
think I've ever talked shit about you when you've
I mean,
been gone.
you should. That's what it's for.
I mean, it's more fun to talk shit about. For me, it's more fun when you're here when I talk shit to your face.
I mean, the door was wide open.
All right, let's see here. So,
Oh, I should probably. I don't know here. Where's the bottle? I can't research a bottle that's a barrel pick.
yeah.
Right.
So
This
this
should be the bourbon mash.
This is it should be the bourbon mash, which would be 51% corn, 34%
Barely legal.
malted barley, and 15% rye.
Does it have it on the back?
I'll check here in a second. The proof on this is 110.4.
Jeez.
So that's the highest proof so far.
So far, yeah.
It doesn't have an age statement on here, but again, most of their stuff has been that 6 to 8 year
that's
range. So I can't guarantee that, but just based off of everything, I mean, everything's been. I think the youngest we've had out of Old Elk has been a 5. So,
Yeah.
This is very good. This is really good. I mean, you got to give it to these guys. I haven't tried one shitty bourbon yet, or one whiskey.
Now, so this is an MGP product because it says it's distilled in Indiana.
Yeah.
Just reading the back of the bottle, It gives the tasting notes, which I'm not going to go over. And it says, and spicy notes of rye. Now, rye's not in their normal bourbon mash bill.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. 34% malted barley. Oh, yeah.
15% rye, right?
Yep, good call. Yep. So,
So don't listen to everything Dan says.
So whenever Dan talks, you should not listen to him.
it's a fair statement.
You were on a good streak, and then you
I was
blew it.
rolling so
He
well.
was fine, but then he got cocky. And
He
then
choked hard.
Yeah, he just choked.
I definitely did.
And now, don't listen to him.
That's fair.
The nose on this is great.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I'm getting like baking spices.
Oh, interesting. I'm getting
Like it smells like baking, not necessarily cookies, but like banana bread or
banana
like
bread is a good one.
Yeah.
Like I smell banana bread, like Bananas Foster, banana bread. Because Bananas Foster, since it's caramelly, that's what I'm getting a lot of.
yeah. I'm getting like a caramel and vanilla is definitely
Vanilla for
coming
sure.
through.
It is definitely a 107. The ethanol, it's a little stingy on the nose.
I think it's a little stingy on the nose is because you have a bunch of liquid just right below your nose on your lip.
Well,
And I
that's
think
that.
maybe that's why it's stinging the nostrils a bit, is because it's actually right below your nostrils.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
See? I just put it on there so I can smell it all day. No, it is a little, not too much. It is a little. I mean, it's 107. It probably should at this point.
I can see where you guys are getting banana bread.
I'm getting Bananas Foster. Yeah.
I'm getting
It's like I'm not getting the banana.
I'm getting
but I'm
more
getting the,
zucchini
like-
bread. My mom makes the zucchini bread, and this smells a lot like that zucchini bread.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what you want to call it, but like dessert bread
Yeah.
type things, like
muffin?
notes. Yeah, like muffin or like
That's a good one.
yeah. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
I don't smell the banana at
Banana
all,
muffin. I do. I get
but I'm
a
like
little tone.
whatever crap goes into the banana bread besides the banana, that's like what I'm getting.
Dude, I'm getting blueberry out of this too. Now that we're talking about muffins, like shit, now I'm smelling blueberry. Banana. Very nice, complex smell. I mean, this smells great. Good job for Gold Eagle and Jake. If he listens, I don't know if does he listen?
Eh.
Who knows?
I'm getting. Ooh, this one reminds me on the finish of Sour Mash 2. It's there.
A little.
I feel warm throughout my whole body right now.
Yeah. I'm not getting
no,
it.
I'm
I'm getting it in my mouth. But not anywhere else.
It's good aim.
But not anywhere else, so that's good. I do get it. I see what you're saying. The finish, it's a little stingy again. I get a hug. It lingers, like the ethanol's lingering on my tongue. I also get a really nice spice out of this. It's the spice is lingering. What was the rye?
15.
That's probably why. But honestly, at 107, this is phenomenal.
It's 110.
110. I like
It's even better. Shit.
the other one was 107. The double wheat.
Yeah.
Dude, at 110, this is great. Like 110 should start stinging more than this.
I don't know. This is calling
pretty
back a lot
smooth.
of Sour Mash 2 to me.
Again, I don't remember too much the notes of Sour Mash 2, but I remember that it wasn't like, yeah, it's not that great. And this one I'm enjoying a lot. I really am. I love the spice that it's leaving in my mouth. It left a really good taste in my mouth.
I'm getting a lot
Literally.
more pepper
Yes.
and the like corn flavor. So I do agree with Dan. It is a little bit Sour Mash 2
Yeah.
in taste. Because when we tasted the 5, I was like had to do a little bit of a
Yeah.
reality check
Yeah.
and be like, was this what we were tasting yesterday?
Yeah.
But this is much more the flavor profile that we tasted yesterday in the Sour Mash
Yeah.
2. and this is very different than the batch 5 than we just tasted.
This is like you guys are saying. You get the ethanol on the palate. I really like the palate on this. For me, it's the finish that's sticking with me.
See, and I'm enjoying the finish.
It's like I don't really get a finish on this. I get it, but it drops off pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh I still feel my first sip.
Really? Like it's all like on, like in my like cheeks.
Yeah.
That's where I'm feeling it.
Well, I mean, it's that time of year where squirrels are starting to pack stuff up in their cheeks to.
Yeah, they destroyed my front yard yesterday.
It's not your front yard anymore.
Oh, the next owner's front yard. What the hell? Stupid squirrels like hiding their nuts?
Well, it's yours until what? Friday?
30th, yeah. Stupid. I'm going to go shoot them.
Well, do you play with your nuts in public?
I do, but I don't bury them.
At least he doesn't bury them.
I know exactly. I'm a fan of this. Is this 100 too? MSRP?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is.
I don't know.
Well, hold on. What was? I don't know. I couldn't find it, but I'm guessing. I think.
I don't remember.
Mash 2 was batch 2 sour mash was $90.
If I had to guess, it was probably between 80 and 100.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see what Dan's saying. I do get some notes of sour mash too. I don't know if I would pay 100 for this. I'm enjoying it. I think it's smooth for a 110. I think it's really smooth for a 110. And I get some really good flavors. You know, that muffin, baking spices that you described. I definitely get that. I enjoy it. I don't have a bottle, but I would probably buy one and maybe not buy it again. Well, this is the pick, right? So that's it. One and done.
Yeah. I think they're sold out of this too.
So yeah, I mean, I think Jake did a good job. I think,
and let's say that. So they do a lot of barrel picks at Gold Eagle, and a lot. It's not that they have a guy. I mean, some barrel picks can be off because the person that's doing them has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Jake does.
Yeah.
And
he selects them. He goes down there and selects them.
Yeah. This wasn't one of my favorite barrel picks that we've tried from them. So it's not that hard for me to, if you've listened to me at all during this, you know that I'm probably going to go double wheat, which I am, over the barrel pick.
Me too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the double wheat.
Yeah. I mean, double wheat is just
this is like, it's one of those things where in the context of this bracket, this one's not, rising to the top.
Right. Yeah.
I think by itself, this is a very good bourbon.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's just,
Yep.
matchups are tough.
And I agree with that. I think, again, I didn't get a Gold Eagle pick. I should have and I would have. Because I enjoy this. This is a good Wednesday night bourbon, sit down, Netflix bourbon after dinner.
Yeah.
Solid. But I am picking the double wheat because that freaking whiskey is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about a barrel pick here real quick. And Jake kind of alluded to it based off of what we had in the bracket. This is $100. Let's call it. Most stuff's either been 50 or 100.
Yeah.
In that area.
I
don't
area.
know if with all the other picks with all the other stuff we've tried, if I would pick this one up. Like, to me, I would rather have the 4 grain at this price. I would rather have the double wheat at this price, obviously, because I just picked it over it.
Yeah. I would pick this one up over the Sour Mash 2.
That's probably the only one that I think I have it beating right now. And again, it's not that it's not a good... Roberto's taking a selfie.
I took a picture of it. And the reason why is because, I was telling you that I was talking to a couple of people, and one of them was my friend Larry in Texas. He was at Costco and sent me a picture of like the 6 or 7 Old Elks, and he's like, I don't know which one to pick. So I was taking a picture too, like, hey, you got to listen to the episode.
It's with all the other picks, this is probably one of my lower favorites. Or not lower favorites. It's one of the lower ones for me, and the majority of everything else, like even Sour Mash 5, I would take well over this for the same price.
I agree with that.
I think this would make an absolutely killer old fashioned though.
Oh yeah. Completely agree.
It's always tough making a cocktail out of a barrel pick, though.
Because it's a one and done.
I mean,
It's your
do I want to? Like, no, but I might just
like
because
you basically
it's really...
just spit in the face of Jake from Gold Eagle. And
Well, I mean, so like,
and
the-
said, hey,
the-
you picked out a great cocktail burban.
well, so
Enjoy
the
your
reason I say
Manhattans.
that is, you know, we mentioned that this has that like corn flavor, that's very forward, but it doesn't carry the sweetness along with it. And like, in my opinion, that's the best type of bourbon to use in an old fashioned.
Oh yeah.
It's like when you double up on the sweetness, sometimes it can ruin the drink.
Completely.
Where this one, like, you can put the simple syrup or, you know, sugar cube in there and it'll actually balance everything out instead of creating an overly sweet drink.
I'm back at a double wheated, and this is great. This is so good. The best old fashioned that I've ever had is with Weller Special Reserve. So freaking good. That is a great old fashioned. Like that's a mule and an old fashioned with reserve.
It's not traditional using a wheated.
Not right, exactly. It is so freaking good.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes a great old fashioned.
All right, so in that section of the bracket, Sour Mash took on Sour Mash 5 took on Double Wheat. Double Wheat came out victorious by a hair. It was a 2-1 vote, and I mean, I don't think me and Roberto were too far off of saying that Sour Mash could have been the winner.
Yep, I agree.
Double Wheat then clean swept the Gold Eagle pick. Again, not that it was not a good pick.
It's just
Just
Double Wheat. It's just
Double Wheat's
phenomenal.
really good. Honestly, though, I think Sour Mash 5 probably would have beat it in my opinion as well.
Sour Mash 5, kudos to them. It is very well done.
Yeah. I think I agree.
Very well done.
All right, well, Jake will be getting ready to serve at the next round because that's his job now.
Yeah.
Is this the same episode?
Somehow
Same
I got
episode. Yeah, we're not going to cut on this. We're going to keep rolling.
got
We just got to create
demoted
some
to-
content right now, Roberto.
I'm already
So
drunk,
fill some dead space while Jake does this. Why don't you?
I'm already drunk. That's how I'm gonna fill the space.
All right, let's
yeah.
stop telling
Hey,
stories.
what's the second one that you poured?
It's rye,
Infinity bottle.
Rye and
This
then
Infinity. Okay. And
Rye,
what are we tasting
rye's the
first?
front.
Rye is what we're tasting first.
All right, so the rye, it's a straight rye.
Yeah.
Proof is right at 100. Age 5 years.
yeah, okay.
Since it's a straight rye, it is 95% rye, 5% malted barley.
And this is the famous Greg Metz rye mash bill from MGP.
Mm-hmm.
So this mash bill is what's in like almost every rye
That
on
you
the
can
shelf.
find
Because they're almost all MGP.
Yeah, all sourced. Yeah.
And it's a very good rye mash bill.
Man, I love rye whiskey.
This will be interesting because this is our only. Roberto still doesn't know how cameras work.
Well, it's not plugging anyway.
This will be our only. Well, there's the 4 grains of the 4 grains of bourbon because it was 51% corn.
Yeah.
The bourbon, it's the straight wheat and the straight rye are the only whiskeys.
The only non-bourbons.
I think the Infinity I got a lot of information on.
Oh, the Infinity Blend is not a bourbon.
No.
So,
Right.
yeah.
What's the proof again on this one? I'm
100.
That's great. I love 100. Like that's
The nose on this is absolutely phenomenal.
It is rye.
The nose.
This is a rye whiskey. This is what a rye whiskey should
It's
smell
this is like a blend between a fruity gin and a whiskey.
That's a really good point.
It smells like tea and like flowers and like cumin, coriander.
I don't taste the cumin, but I taste the coriander.
You just throwing out random words right now?
No.
Lamp,
It's like-
carpet.
Xylophone.
It's spices, but it's floral spices.
It is. It's got a floral. It's definitely got a floral.
Lavender. that kind of shit.
Eucalyptus.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood.
Definitely.
That's
sandalwood.
wine. All wines smell like sandalwood.
Lilac.
Wait, hold on.
Edamame.
I think I fucked them up again. Is this, which one's this? This is the rye?
This is the rye.
I did fuck him up.
What the fuck?
I know. Yep, I fucked them up. I was tasting the infinity.
So I love how he smelled the infinity and he said, "This is a rye. This is a rye." So back to I think Dan might have taken the lead again here, and who to listen to because.
Well, no one ever claimed that anyone should listen to Roberto.
That's fair. You know what?
I'm here for the entertainment value. That's all. I am here for entertainment value. I smell whatever the hell you just described because I was like, wait, I'm not getting any of that shit.
You get
I was smelling infinity.
You're getting the edamame now.
Now I'm getting. Mm-hmm. No, I'm serious. I'm getting
A
lavender.
little Machu Picchu I smell in that.
I'm getting like a gin, like a really good gin, like the one we tried from
Watershed.
From Watershed.
Yeah, it's not like a juniper heavy gin. It's like fruit peel
it's
heavy.
like cucumber.
Lots of like orange,
God,
lemon,
this is really good.
lime peel, that like apple kind of comes through again,
yeah.
I think.
I would put this up against Taylor. This is really
The Taylor
good.
rye.
Yeah, like this is really good.
I do really like this rye.
God dang, this is good.
Like this is maybe a top 5 rye for me.
So smooth.
It's very
It's a very smooth
good.
rye.
So smooth.
Hey, we did just go from
Wait,
a
hold on, I fucked
110
them up.
proof to a 100 proof. So
I fucked them up again. I was tasting. No, I'm just kidding. Holy crap! Like, okay, I'm just trying to think in my brain, in my head, what are the ryes that I really like? And it's Taylor. Willet. Definitely Willet. This reminds me a lot of Willet rye, by the way. Like this is really good. It's a
little
more
bit.
floral.
This is more floral
It's a
than
little
the
more
Willet rye is.
I like Elijah Craig rye just fine.
Yeah.
Angel's Envy rye, but it's a little more interesting because of the finish.
It's more of like a rye,
It's more like a true
peppery rye.
Yep.
Because
a
like
Taylor.
there's really like rye is interesting because there's like 2 main flavor profiles that you can get. You can get that like really spicy peppery
Pepper,
flavor,
yeah.
or you can get this like floral.
Which I think is the latter.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
this is definitely the floral notes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of spice in this one for a rye.
There's not a lot. It stays on the palate. It doesn't go in the finish.
Yeah,
The finish is a very smooth. It's still on your tongue by the time the finish is over, and it's a good on your tongue.
Completely agree. And
and like this is the type of rye that you like, right, Dan?
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of bullet rye, a little bit like a higher end bullet rye.
Yeah, because Bullet's pretty.
Bullet's more simple. This is more complex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's same mash bill. Bullet's a 95.5.
Yeah.
Bullet's MGP.
Bullet is MGP.
John Dutton's drink of choice.
Well, but they're just a regular Bullet.
That's true.
Bourbon. What was I gonna say? This is phenomenal. I don't know how I'll say that. This is like drinking a Taylor or Willet rye, which in my mind are the top 2. Smooth as hell. It is definitely a pepper aftertaste. I mean, I'm sorry, the finish, but in a very nice way.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
this
spice.
is actually reminds me a lot of the Hard Truth rye. Also,
There you go. That's a really good one too. Yeah.
From what I remember about the sweet mash from Hard Truth, I would put this above it.
Hard Truth is good.
I'd have to try them back to back to
Yeah.
pick one over the other, but
They're
they're both very floral.
I liked
and,
the sweet mash rye had a little more bite to it, I believe.
Yeah, 'cause that's like 112 or something proof.
Yeah. This reminds me, now that
Mine's buried back there somewhere.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
behind the Maddie. Go ahead.
I taste some Angel's Envy rye in this. Because Angel's Envy is more of a dessert, like a true dessert whiskey.
What's that? That's finished in port.
In port. Yeah.
Which port is it finished in?
The port of Los Angeles.
It's a nice, clean port.
It's clean. It's nice. It's pretty.
I was gonna say the worst port in the world, but
the port of Long Beach,
but I
California.
mean, what's interesting to me is that this one gets a lot of those notes
Yeah, it does.
without, finessing it with a finish.
Yeah.
And all that crap. We don't know how old this is, do we?
Maybe 6. I don't know.
No, it is 5.
5? I mean, that's
This is great, man.
I mean, you see a lot of rise at 3 to 4.
What's Taylor Rye? 6?
there's a lot of 2-year rise.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Angel's Envy Rye is like 3, I think.
I mean, not that because I think the Hard Truth rye is 2 years, and that's like
I know, it's phenomenal.
easy top 5
Yeah,
rye.
it is.
But I mean, like, the longer you age it, the more mellow it's gonna get.
Yeah.
This is a pretty mellow whiskey,
It
but
is.
it maintains these flavors really
A lot
well.
of flavor. A lot of flavor.
Taylor Rye is at least 4 years old.
Okay.
I cannot say enough about this rye. It is in my top 3. Like, seriously, it'll be like Taylor, Willet, this.
I have to taste this back to Hard Truth to
Hard Truth was great. I remember
bump it
that.
up there. But yeah,
was
Taylor
fun.
Rye I think is probably my number 1.
Hard Truth was a nice distillery if you're in the Indiana area or in the
Indianapolis
West.
area.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
it
that place
was-
is awesome.
It was a great experience. Their restaurant is good.
Yeah.
Property is beautiful. The tour was great. I mean,
There's
the
a
guy
brewery
did a
there
good
too
job.
that we didn't go to at
Yeah.
all, but
The tour is worth it. It's only $15, so it's good.
yeah, I mean it's
Nothing to write home about, but it was great.
well,
to
it's
see their
cool.
facility.
That was the first time they let us dip our finger in the mash and taste it.
No, Bardstown did.
Oh yeah, Bardstown did. I forgot.
Bardstown did, and I was drunk as hell, man.
Bardstown lets you do basically anything there. They were awesome.
I was drunk as shit.
Yeah, Bardstown was super cool.
Woodford used to, and I asked her, it's like, hey, when I was here last, she's like, yeah, COVID. I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
It's gonna go in a.
It's gonna get burnt off.
It's gonna get
Boiled
burnt
off.
off completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's still 3 times.
So
Could cough COVID straight into the.
You can jump in there and it'll be fine.
yeah, they talk about people losing their cell phones and stuff in the mash tank.
Yeah,
And their ear pod or their AirPods.
yeah.
People are stupid, man.
We are. All right. Well, the final one we're gonna taste, and we'll have tasted 10 different Old Elks in 2
This it?
episodes. The final one is the Infinity Blend.
Yep.
Now, this proof comes in at 114.9. The age, this isn't like an infinity bottle where they keep a little bit of every single thing and throw it in. This isn't how they're doing it. This is a blend of 3 different whiskeys. 60% of this is a 6-year-old. 24% is a 12-year-old. And 16% is an 11-year-old.
Wow.
The mash
I think though that the plan for this is for it to be an annual release.
Yeah, that's
And
what you were
every
saying.
year they carry over a percentage of the last
Yeah.
release.
That's
So
what
it
the
will
rep
be
was
an
saying,
infinity blend.
Because it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the guy, the rep, was saying. Yeah.
This is a blend of 60% is the Old Elk blended straight bourbon,
Okay.
which is in our final 4. And again, that's 51% corn, 34% malted barley, 15% rye. And then there are 2 Kentucky bourbons comprising the remaining 40% of the mash bill, but they don't disclose
say.
what those mash bills are.
One of those is a 12-year and one is a what?
Well, 60%. So 60% of it, which is the Old Elk straight blended or straight bourbon, is a 6-year,
Okay.
which is basically what we had.
Yeah.
And then there's another mash bill in here of 24%, which is a 12-year-old Kentucky bourbon.
Okay.
It says Kentucky bourbons, and then 16% of it, 11-year-old Kentucky bourbon.
Oh, okay.
Damn, this is good.
So again, 115. This is the
Pappy
highest.
12 and
Yeah. Exactly.
This is the
great.
highest alcohol percent we'll have.
115.
Yep.
Damn, this is really good. It's really smooth. I mean, I love the smell of this. I think on the nose, it's easy. It's smooth. The ethanol for 115 is not overpowering me.
On the nose, it is.
You think it is?
Yeah, but
I don't get.
I don't get a lot of overpowering smell. I mean, I get the ethanol for sure. It's 115, but it's not like hitting me like, oh shit.
I get like
was
Cocoa
before.
Crisp. I smell like a lot of chocolate.
It's got bold notes. It's got like dark coffee, dark chocolate notes.
I'm getting Cocoa Crisp.
That's a good way to say it.
Or
You know what I'm
Cocoa
getting?
Puffs. Cocoa Puffs.
You know what I'm getting? I'm
I'm not
getting
getting that.
that Girl Scout mint cookie, that chocolate mint, whatever that is. I forget what it's called. Chocolate mint.
I don't know. I still get Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, now I'm getting it. It's faint. But yeah, a little bit. That like actual like cocoa,
Yeah,
not like milk chocolate.
like
No.
It's like
right.
cocoa.
Yeah.
I'm getting Count Chocula. Chocula.
Marshmallows.
Yeah, exactly. What was it, Frankenberry? Count Chocula and Frankenberry. Dude, I love that growing up.
I don't normally pick up a lot of stuff. I'm not a very good palate and nose guy, but that was the first thing I smelled was
Yeah.
cocoa.
It has a very, again, it's 115. It's not killing me on the nose. You can definitely smell the alcohol. It's there. It's 115, but it's not a terrible, shocking hit of ethanol into my nose. It's more like, okay, it's there, but the notes really compensate for that,
And just to make sure you screwed these up, so you're drinking the rye right now, correct?
No, this is actually Sour Mash 5. I'm on Sour Mash 5 right now. You know what I was drinking? I was drinking Pellegrino, and I thought it was all the notes of Pellegrino, but maybe it's not. This is good, smooth for 115. It's really smooth for a 115.
Yeah, I would agree. I haven't taken my second sip yet.
I'm really
I already finished it.
I'm getting hit hard by
Really?
the alcohol.
I did
on
not.
the taste.
I did not at all. Can I see the infinity again?
For me though, it's coming on the finish. It's not on the front or the middle.
Yeah, 114.9. Holy shit.
It doesn't stay very long, but
I get a little cocoa on the palate, but not as much as I smell. Here, no, let's just put it like this. Let's make this fun. If you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna have the elk just facing me because I'm gonna.
But that's not facing you, dude.
Yes, it is. Look,
Not on the TV. Oh, there you go. Now it's good. That's a good one. I don't get Cocoa Puffs. I get the cocoa though. I get a little
well,
bit
Cocoa
of,
Puffs is about as sophisticated as Dan's palate will get. So
not even the General Mills one is like the Costco brand.
yeah, it's the one that they sell in the big plastic bags. At the end of the aisle.
Costco bag.
It's like the cuckoo poofs, or
Yeah.
whatever they're gonna call it.
Shit. I mean, honestly, it's gonna be tough for me because I really enjoy the Infinity. Like it's smooth, it's flavorful, it's complex, syrupy as hell, oaky, dark chocolate, leather.
it does have a
strawberry.
decent consistency.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like burning the shit out of me.
See, it's not for me. Like
I don't know what.
I think this is very smooth.
for 115 especially.
Yeah, I would say what was the one that was the Gold Eagle pick burnt way worse than this, and that was the lower.
Sour Mash 2 burned worse than this.
That's true.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me. I gotta think about this. I really do, because I am really enjoying a bottle Infinity. What's the MSRP?
150 on this one.
I would buy this at 150 just because it's a cool story, it's a cool release, it's a great label, and Old Elk they're doing a good thing. I'm a fan of Old Elk. I have been. I would
Yeah,
get
I don't
this
know.
bottle at
I
150.
don't know what the hell's going on, but It's like really
It's probably acid
sitting
reflux
with
at
me.
this point.
No, I mean it's like sitting on my tongue. The
Really?
the ethanol is like burning the sides of my tongue.
It is not for me at all.
No, I
don't know
The
what it
only
is.
burn I get is on the finish, and it's very subtle.
I mean, again, I smell. I can get on the nose for sure. It's 115. It should be, but it's gone. I taste the syrup right now in my tongue.
When we did the Gold Eagle, I wasn't a fan. I remember I wasn't impressed by the Infinity Blend because I was looking forward to it so much. Maybe it was overhyped in my mind.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
But the rye was really damn good too. Jake, we go ahead and give your pick because me and Roberto are still contemplating over.
Yeah, I mean, I am enjoying the Infinity Blend more than I did at the tasting at Gold
Agreed.
Eagle.
Agreed 100%.
But that rye is just too damn good, so I'm gonna go with the rye.
Shit.
It's close for
I
me.
need a minute.
That's fine. I'll kill some time for you.
I need a minute.
It's very close for me. And again, it's not that I don't like ryes. I just don't normally prefer them to bourbons, but a good rye is still a good rye. And when I taste a good rye, I make sure I let people know that I've had, hey, this is a good rye.
Yeah,
So let's squash that myth here. It's not that I don't
it's
like
just more fun to say that you
I
hate
know.
all ryes.
I like rice, Mexican rice,
Oh, I had some
fried
I had some
rice.
Spanish rice the other night with some
Spanish
fajitas.
rice.
Oh.
paella rice.
Paella
Oh my
rice,
God,
crusty
no,
rice.
Crusty rice.
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
Yeah.
The best is the
risotto
rice that
rice.
gets a little brown or burnt at the bottom of the.
That's how I
That's-
do mine, dude.
You gotta scrape it up.
Yeah, that's the best rice ever.
You fry it with a little olive oil, and then you
It's
boil it,
Bobby Flay's go-to move.
dude. Chicken rice and chicken.
Oh well, if Bobby Flay was here, he would probably go Infinity Blend. So I will go Infinity Blend.
Oh,
just
don't
because
put
of
words
Bobby
in
Flay.
Bobby's mouth.
A Man in a Grill, or what is that thing? What is that book that he had? I have it somewhere.
Which one?
Man and Grill or something. Man Meets Grill.
Maybe,
That was a great book. He's got some
Yeah.
really good recipes.
I've got
in
like 3 or 4 of his cookbooks.
there. Yeah.
They're all really
Nice.
good.
That's a great book. Is something I've never uttered in my life.
It's a cookbook, so
That's a great YouTube video. Man Meets Grill is a great. It's got some really good recipes in there. I don't know. So wait, which one did you pick?
I picked the rye.
I picked Infinity, so it's
God
on
damn it.
Roberto.
So let's kill Dan's streak and go for the rye.
See, they're gonna do that just to spite me. They don't want to have the thing I'm right, even though
No.
Roberto is gonna go Infinity Blend
I'm gonna be very fair.
as he pours himself some more Infinity.
Well, I'm gonna pour both
Oh,
because I'm gonna be very fair.
it's that close for Roberto that he's got to
really
go
is.
in for a second
It really is really close.
round.
That Infinity is phenomenal, man. And I mean, you know me, I like a rye whiskey more than the guy next door.
I don't know if I've ever smelt a whiskey where I've like the first thing I said was cocoa. Like I've had chocolate undertones, but cocoa just stuck out on this.
Yeah. I don't know if I have.
Gee,
either.
the Infinity just smells good.
It's probably one of my favorite nose. What I've had. Okay, so there's 2 unique noses I've had. This one is the first that stands out to me because the heavy cocoa. The other unique nose was when we did Pappy 12 the first time, and they set that down on the table,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you didn't even have to get close to it. Like you just
You
smelled
smelled
that
it, yeah.
from a foot and a half away, and you're like, "This is going to be a damn good bourbon." This you got to get close to, but I've never had that unique of a smell that I can think of besides Pappy 12.
I gotta pick the rye. Again, I'm trying to be as fair as I can. I tried them side by side 3 times already. This is syrupy, flavorful, complex, and smooth as hell.
Yeah.
But the Infinity is too. Again, it was very close for me. But I'm a rye whiskey fan, and this is just so. This is top 3, not even top 5. This is top 3 for me.
Yeah. I mean, this rye is just so good. Like, I to Dan's point, like we said already, did not care for the Infinity Blend when we tried it at the tasting.
Me either. I actually scratched it out of my head because I was like, no.
Yeah. So I actually didn't have particularly high expectations for
Yeah.
this, and this
It blew
When,
me
when
away,
I
though.
saw it on the when I saw the
it
way
is
the,
pretty good.
when I saw the way the brackets came out, I figured this was a walkaway win for Rye.
Yeah.
But it was
blew
close.
me away. The Infinity blew me away.
So the final episode, we will have the last 4 because I can't say the final and then the number that
Yeah.
comes after 3 and before 5.
Some D bags copyrighted it.
I think it's the 4 final.
The 4 finals.
The 4 finalists.
Yeah,
There you go.
because the
It's the semifinals.
because the,
Freaking capitalism, man. What the shit?
the NCAA doesn't make enough money off of
I
it.
know.
It wouldn't
All
be this way if we were
off of the
living in
backs-
China.
Off the backs of black athletes.
Free and free labor. Like, what does that
Exactly.
remind you of?
And I don't mean that in a racist way. Like, they make money off of the backs of black athletes.
Well, at least they
Yes.
can do deals now.
Yeah,
It's 2 max per year. Like 2 per calendar year. It's like, what the
but
shit?
I mean,
like, there's
it's better than nothing.
well, no, it is. But there was,
it's the start.
there was a really good.
It'll expand.
It'll expand.
Hopefully,
It's a start.
because I believe in capitalism.
Yeah.
And I mean that sucks ass. There was a really good. What's the Real Sports? A really good Real Sports after the NCAA started allowing sponsorships, and the guy's like, "Well, I go to a chicken and fingers pop store because that's the only one that would sponsor me, but they're giving me $1,000 a month, so that's good." Yeah. So they're still like scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, college sports is a little different. There's way more athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
yeah, that's a good point.
the NFL or the NBA or whatever. But
You know what? Fuck NCAA. The final 4 that we're gonna have going up are going to be the Old Elk blended bourbon.
This rye, holy shit!
It will be in the
Juniper,
final 4.
Lavender.
when he
chamomile.
was like contemplating, I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. I know which one you're gonna pick.
We have the blended bourbon versus
I need
the
chips and
weeded
salsa, man.
bourbon on the left side.
Yep.
On the right side, we will have double wheat versus the rye. So we will have a bourbon, a rye, and 2 wheats in the final.
Yeah.
And all 4 are really good. It's going to be fun to go back and revisit the blended versus the weeded because we haven't had those in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be, obviously, we've just tried the rye and the double wheat. We'll see.
Yeah. I think this is a pretty good semifinals, I think.
Yeah.
Dan was kind of hoping for 4 weeded bourbons.
No,
to
I
find it
wasn't.
out, but
Waiting.
That's what
Jake sent us an original pick.
We got to randomize this because otherwise it's gonna be unfair.
Well, Jake sent us a picture of the bracket, and all of the weededs were against each other right off the bat. And I'm like, should we shouldn't we do something different? He's
it's
like,
a fair fight.
yeah, let's make it fair.
Well,
because-
but I mean the
Right.
bourbons were against each other.
Exactly.
The sour mashes were against each other.
Exactly.
Ryan and Infinity were actually still against each
Yeah,
other.
that
It
didn't
just
change.
happened to be the same. But
I and the weededs are good. We'll see if a weeded wins. But the blended bourbon was really good from memory, so it'll be a fun final. If people want to see the brackets, we'll have images of the brackets on our socials.
yeah, I think we'll have each episode's like title card as the bracket.
I like that.
So you'll be able to see it.
Where
Not with the results,
Yeah.
with the current state of the
Right.
bracket at the time of the episode.
where
So,
can they see those brackets at, Roberto?
They can probably go to Instagram. That'll be the best.
Ooh,
way to
that'd be
see
a
the
good spot to
brackets.
see 'em.
Yeah. We grew actually just over the last 24 hours, like 10 followers, which is good. For us, it's great. 656, I think, or something.
10
like
a
that.
day. It won't be long till we're at 10,000.
Dude. It'll
if
be,
if Roberto's millions of followers would finally just get their asses over to Bourbon Matters, that would be great.
switch them
but-
over, switch them over to Bourbon Matters. My mission when I go to San Antonio, when I move to San Antonio, would be
To steal all Fourth Drams followers.
It will be to.
Dick and Kirk, we love you guys.
I gotta talk to Generix. I do want to put a lot of content out there from Texas.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be great.
And maybe you'll pick up Cowboy Bourbon for me.
when it releases. Did it release yet? I don't
soon.
think it has. Yeah.
The rye's coming out too.
I'll drive. Like I seriously will drive.
They had the
to-
Belle Maria at Benny's the other day when I was there.
Did they?
Yeah, a lot of places have it right now. I have 2 bottles, so
I
I'm
will
not.
drive to Garrison Brothers to get it. It's
But
only 4 hours away.
I have the cowboy bourbon downstairs.
Yeah.
I really want the rye.
The rye would be freaking solid, man.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for
that's
that.
what I'm gunning for.
So yeah, Instagram, Bourbon Matters is the handle. You know, again, I do want to. We'll talk to our tremendous social media manager, Jenna Ray, because I think content from Texas is going to be really cool.
Yeah,
To start adding to the account,
hit that Specs.
hit the specs, hit the.
Which Specs is where I used to order TX from.
Really?
By the case and have it shipped to
Dude,
the
ship it to
Wisconsin
Illinois.
Dells.
Oh, Wisconsin. I was gonna say. Not Illinois. They want to ship it
No.
to Illinois. Yeah.
I
but
had to ship
Wisconsin
it to
makes
my
sense.
buddy's family's
Yeah.
condo in the Dells
Specs is great, man.
and pick it up.
I actually lived in San Antonio when Specs came out, and it was great. I mean, everybody was out there. It's a great store. That's where I found my Willet Blackened.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so I'm excited. I'm excited to put some Texas content and start driving to the local distilleries. And Bourbon Matters is the handle. Facebook has the same handle. Similar content. Follow us. We're on Truth Social. Is that even a thing? Is that a thing?
It still is.
Still
yeah.
is.
It still is till Trump goes to jail.
Yeah, which is pretty close. I think he's about 2 months away. From going to jail. And then there's the podcast. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
so you can listen to us basically anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple. You can now listen to us on Amazon and
Oh, give Bezos that money. He needs it.
the Audible.
Audible.
So if that's your thing,
Yeah.
in other places too. And then if you want to watch us on YouTube, just look for Bourbon Matters, click the notification bell, subscribe, all that.
Bourbon
fun
Matters
stuff.
podcast will find it. Bourbon Matters doesn't necessarily always bring it up. I've done some incognito.
Oh, really?
searches.
Oh, that's dumb.
So Bourbon Matters podcast. We haven't made it big enough on YouTube.
Okay.
There's an episode that's got like 45.
We're being shadow banned on YouTube, so just
They're trying to demonetize us because we talk about alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, even though we haven't made any money off of YouTube and there's no monetization, they're still trying to demonetize us. Yeah. Otherwise, Fourth Dram, that was a joke. We love you guys.
yeah, check out Fourth Dram and Down. Check out
Dram and
America's
Gold.
Finest podcast.
Hold on. Fourth Dram and Gold.
Oh, sorry, Fourth Dram and Goal.
Fourth goal and
Jesus.
dram.
Check out America's Finest podcast. My buddy in San Diego and his friend talking
What
about
is it about?
It's about a whale's vagina.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
Mostly.
carpet. I love carpet.
They just talk about what they're.
Hey, we got to do a collaboration
doing
with
and
the
shit.
Fourth Dram guys, and I can go and
When you're
hang
out
with
there?
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do it. It'll be fun. Anyway,
Sounds
continue.
good. We'll do cowboy bourbon that day.
That'll
Yeah.
be good, man. We'll go get you
yeah.
bottles.
All
right.
boys. Finals next time.
See you next time.
Cheers.
That was really good.